evening, MML and especially MML Blitz fans. It's Ben and Booth on here, and we are about to do our first recap of the new season, season 13. Unlucky for some, I'd say. And I'm joined by one of the brothers, and it's the cool brother. No, not Mac, JimmyMac. Yes, I am fickle like that. Evening, Jimmy. How are you doing, buddy?
Good, Bernie. Thanks. Thanks for the invite. This will be a blast.
Yeah. We're both still licking our wounds from our semi-finals in the MML Pros. We won't go too far into it, apart from we're both a bit, Yeah.
Clearly, yeah. We'll keep this mainly Blitz focused, not to reopen old wounds. Yeah. I just had to write my story for the end of the season for my pro team. So I had to relive it all over again, just typing it up. So yeah, we'll just stick to Blitz.
Yeah. So the new season. So we got three. For anyone who doesn't know, we have three divisions. We've got the World, we've got the Americans, and we've got the Europe. And basically, it's just like normal MML Pro or Challenge, where you have 7 rounds, and the top 2 of each division go through with 2 wildcards. So two of the best third places go through. So we've done 2 weeks have gone by, so we'll go through them. We'll start with the Americans. I don't know why. Someone came up. Hey, I'm Max here. And it was an interesting. I'm going to go back to week 1 and we'll try and get it through there. So it was an interesting one because obviously America, when I had a look at this, obviously, no Jimmy there. I was like, oh, Jimmy's bloody in the well. Bloody hard to play Jimmy. Bloody hell, go to bloody Americans. Hate playing good players. Hate playing them. Go with your brother. Now, when we did the pre-cap, obviously, we brother and all that sort of stuff. I'm obviously got a soft spot for the Pebbles. The talking team though was actually the Great Warriors. Mumbo obviously taking over from Beers' franchise, and obviously everyone was talking about the claw, the killing potential of this team, and yeah, they're pretty brutal. I mean, I think they had five claw pieces or something like that.
I believe it's 5. I think it's 5 claw mighty blow. Yep.
Yeah. And obviously, the Port Reivers Outlanders, that was another team what was talking quite well about. And obviously, the Philip Pounding Fathers, well, we expect them to do well. But when we look at the week 1 games, I've got to be honest here. I was really surprised the Outlanders got turned over by the Gulls. I didn't see that coming. I just thought that was going to be a good win for the Outlanders. But then I looked at how many armor breaks, 22 armor breaks. I mean, that is a lot of armor breaks out of 55 blocks, 5 KOs, 6 injuries, and 1 death.
Yeah.
Compared to 46 blocks, only 2 KOs, 1 injury. I mean, that is a massive.
That game was tough to watch. I know I've had I've been lamenting my run of rough dice here the last week and a half or 2 weeks. But I'll tell you, I feel so bad for Dave. Like, Dave put together a good team in his first 2 weeks. I think he had a similar outcome in week 2 too, where his game was. I think he had four MNGs going into week 2, and I think he's got 4 more MNGs going into next week. So he put together a very good team. He just got the worst armor break luck the first 2 weeks. Team just got wrecked both weeks. I mean, not much you can do about it. It was really some really unfortunate dice for Dave.
Yeah, I mean, as well, the Gulls have got a few sort of tough players, but I don't think they're what I'd class as a kill team.
Not really. I wouldn't class. They're built more around their bulls.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at the team now. Let's have a look. So they've got Sherpa Dips, a Pommer, Bull Center. That's an interesting one, and they've got the Gronk Big Law. I've always liked Gronk. But apart from that, they got some mighty blow, but nothing. What I would say was crazy.
No, you wouldn't go into that game thinking you're gonna, not expecting you go into a game with Momo's team. You're like, well, I might have 6 casualties this game. Like that's on the table. If you go in against this team with only 11 guys, and I mean, like you said, Sherbert Dip and Big Claw can get it done, but you wouldn't go in expecting that level of devastation.
Yeah. I felt for Dave because when I was doing the pre-cap with obviously Armac, I had to tip him, but at the same time I thought he's had some pretty bad luck since he's been in Blitz, and I was like, I don't want to tip him or not. But the team he put together was so good, I just thought he's got to be in there. But again, Blood Bowl is a very fickle, very, very fickle sort of game, and unfortunately, yet again, he's having problems. The Philly Pounding Fathers, obviously, brother was in action against the Pebbles. Did you see that game? It ended 2-2, so like a good game.
Yeah, it was it was one that I was pretty critical of Armac in that game. Jock and I were kind of doing that game, and it was. He didn't. I think he would admit this. Looking back, I know he's in the chat, but he didn't play that game very. It was probably one of the worst games I've seen him play. I think he was very tentative. I think he was holding back, trying to protect his players, right. And not really exploiting things that were there. So that's a really tough way to play. I mean, you really kind of leave yourself open to making mistakes and doing things that you're trying to play a way you don't usually play. I mean, it was 2-2. He did eventually get the 2-1 lead, and then Gio one turn on turn 16, which there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah,
but that was a really odd game that Armac played. I thought he played much better in week 2. But that was one I did see, but I was pretty critical of him in that game.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with Armac, and I'm really taking a lot of experience via the MML Pros and stuff, is Armac, 1 week he can be really, really good, another week he can throw in a stinker. It's his consistency. As soon as he gets his consistency right, he can win titles. But for some bizarre reason, I don't know if he's played the game very long. He's just up and down. He needs to get that sort of high quality sort of play each week, or try and get that. Like, I've watched him in the pros and like, oh my god, what a great result. Then I'm thinking Armac's going to win the next game, no problem. And then he throws in a shocker, or he just doesn't play to that level. But again, I mean, obviously in week 2, we'll come to week 2, but again, brilliant performance in week 2. I didn't see week 1, but again, 2-2 is not bad. I mean, you said he didn't play as great, but he still took a 10-16 score, so if he almost won it. So that I mean, like I said, I didn't watch much of Armac apart from when I watch the highlights and that. Like, it's in England we call it Daisy. I don't know if you know that it's like a flower, but it's called Daisy because some days you do, some days you don't. That's why we call it that. And some days he's like, he'd kick my ass. Some days he doesn't, and he's not the only one. A lot of us are like that. But that's the main thing. What sticks in my mind when people ask me about Armac, I'm like, if he's on a good day, he'll kick all our asses. If he's on a bad day, he'll kick his own ass. And a 2-2's a solid draw against the Pebbles, who look like they're ready to play this season.
Yes.
And like I say, we'll talk about
Agreed.
week 2 in a minute, and we'll have a look. I just want to look at the Philly Pounding Fathers, because didn't he, like, you went out and got Dodge Viper, and I think he went out and paid to get Arnold Schwarzenegger, didn't he?
He certainly did. So
yeah. And
he's got his. I mean, he's got a plan, and if he gets through this season healthy,
yeah,
he's getting $750 from his sponsor. He was the only one who took Orkidas,
right.
So he'll get the $400 plus the $350. So he's going to have plenty of money next year. I know he was poor this year, but if those 5 guys, Chorfkin, who's strength 5, Mighty Blow Claw, that's ridiculous.
I love him.
I mean, Schwarzenegger, 4 strength Claw Palmer, awesome. Goji Blade should be illegal. A 9 movement, 5 strength, Mighty Blow Tackler. And his 2 gutters, he keeps those 5. If those 5 survive and he keeps those 5 intact, this team is dangerous next year. Very dangerous.
Yeah, he's got
if he adds the right pieces.
Yeah,
he's got a really good core to build that team. His team's kind of scary now, as Momo found out in week 2. Like, his team can still bring the pain on you as it is now, but you'll see, like, I'm sure next year he would prefer not to be carrying 5 nobblers to fill out his bench, and he probably would like to have some. He's going to have some better players, supporting cast players, but the core is there without question.
Yeah, I mean, did he get the nobblers then because he couldn't afford anything else? I'm presuming that was like his balance had completely gone. I'm guessing.
I think so. Yeah, that was basically what he was doing, was just fill out with nobblers, so he has plenty of line fodder. He doesn't have to put his good players on the line, get through the season healthy, and then really kind of build for next season, which makes sense. If you're in a rebuilding season, get load up with 6 nobblers and throw them to the wolves, and and then just let them get pounded on.
Yeah, even into DiMarco and Gio there. Yeah, I think it was a good result. I mean, obviously, I always think the first game of the season you just don't want to lose. You'll take a draw if need be, or win. As long as you don't lose and you can try and be as healthy as you can. I mean, I suppose the twist this season is to beat different players, and the few games I've seen is people keep throwing the ball and stuff and trying to earn cash that way, but at the same time, it could. You could throw away a victory or something, or lose the ball as well. So I've been interested to see how that's gone along. I'll tell you one thing what really did impress me. I did see the highlights of this game. Tanari top Tarantulas versus Molina Grey Warriors. I think everyone expected the Warriors to win. But in the end, they had to scrap. To get a 2-1 against the Tarantulas. I was really impressed with Gio's son.
Me too.
The Warriors were very lucky to get out of there with a win, really. A very impressive 1-10 attempt as well from the Tarantulas.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, I didn't see at first. I didn't understand what he was doing. It took me until he had that first set of pushes with his Ulfwerner. That was high level attempt at a 1-turn. I was very impressed by that. That was really, really good. So I was equally impressed by that, by his coaching and his team, because I thought he pulled off some very slick moves in that game. And you're right, Momo did have to scratch and scrape in that game. So it was a really good debut, I thought.
I was really impressed because kill teams, when they fire, that's it usually. It's just an easy win or procession. And Molina's team did fire. I mean, they did 40 blocks, 9 KOs, 5 injuries. I mean, they just absolutely ran over the Tarantulas. But the Tarantulas wouldn't go away. And, they had the ball late on in the piece, and obviously, luckily for the Warriors, they got the ball back. But I was really impressed with the Tarantulas, especially bearing in mind this is his first game in Blitz as well. So this is his debut against the Warriors with all this claw and tackle and pom and all this stuff, and obviously Mombo, a former champion as well. For him to at least give it a good go, I thought was like, right, mark his name down, because he's obviously going to have easier opportunities to get some wins under the belt than playing Mombo. But yeah, I thought, 2-1, that was a pretty good win for the Tarantulas.
Very, very good. If he had, to your point, in that second half, if he would have had, 1 or 2 more players on the pitch, he very likely could have won that game. He just kind of ran out of bodies. If he had a few more guys on the field, he probably wins.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a couple of killers. I mean, a couple of pommers, might blow pommers, and then obviously he's got the claw on the Hunter of Skulls. Nice name, that one. But he's got a lot of good different skill pieces. And I don't know. I just thought it was a really good performance from him. I thought, I was really impressed. The kid is a great coach. Taught him everything he ought not to do. And obviously taught him not to roll bad dice, I hope.
That's right.
So that was good. Now then, Gulf Coast Chaos versus the Vultures. I think that must have been an admin game, because there's no way the Gulf Coast Chaos did not. Yeah, they did. They said there's no way the Gulf Coast Chaos was. Yeah. So I don't know what happened there. So there's not much we can say about that one. But after week 1, I'm thinking massive result for the Gulls. Didn't see that coming. The Fires and the Pebbles, I could see that coming. I expected the Warriors to win. I also expected Gulf Coast to win, but obviously that was an admin result, unfortunately. So, going into week 2 then, I'll tell you what, the Gulls, yet again, impressed me. 2-2.
Big time.
They are really doing well. The only thing I'm going to say about the Gulls is they don't have many players. So, if they start losing players, then they're done for. But again, the Gulls again, 58 blocks. That's a lot of blocks. 7 KOs, 2 injuries, 1 kill. Crike.
And it was, and I believe it was DM's his kill piece was the one that got killed. I believe it was his claw mighty blow piece.
Usually I'm not sad when kill pieces die, but because it's not in my division, I'd like them to kill a few other people. But it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, so obviously with the Gulf Coast only drawing the first week, a win would have been what I was looking for. It's always been an interesting team, the Chaos, Gulf Coast Chaos. A lot of people don't like it because it's very one-dimensional with the 3-1-10ers. But obviously, over the seasons, he's tried to put one or two kill pieces in. Unfortunately for him, his kill piece went splat.
Yes.
And again, when I look at this team, it's like it's all about the 110s, isn't it? If they fail, he's in huge trouble because there's nothing really there where I look at and go, "Ooh, I'm very scared of that," or he has nothing. And obviously, like I said, he's lost his kill piece now. And I always found teams what rely on these 110ers draw more than the win or lose. And if you keep drawing, as impressive as it is, it's not going to get you into the playoffs. Because at the end of the day, you play 3 games, draw 3 games, you're on 3 points against a guy who's lost 2, wins 1, still on the same point, 3 points. So 3 points each. Edward Clawfist is no more. Sure, Armac's extremely happy about that.
That was his name. Yep, Edward Clawfist. Yeah, yes. Armac was very happy he doesn't have to face him later on. But you're right, and I think not taking anything away from DM because I think he went 6-1-0 last year, so he definitely had a run last year where he was firing off the wins. But again, it kind of failed him in the playoffs. But you're right, that strategy of the one-turners, I agree with you. I think it lends itself more to you tying than to you winning.
Yeah.
Just the way this team's set up, because if it doesn't come off, something goes wrong, anything happens, you don't get one of those one-turns. I mean, you're looking at mostly, he's got a bunch of rookie linemen. He's got, a couple Chaos Warriors that are okay. Level 3 Chaos Warriors are all right. There's not much. There's not much else to fall back on.
Yeah, wasn't very good at all. Then we had, the Tarantulas got it done. Like I said, I was very impressed in week 1. I haven't seen the Vultures play, so I was all on for the Tarantulas to get this done. And Jesus, man, what the heck?
Wait do you see the stats for that game? 17 armor breaks and 8 injuries.
Jesus.
It was. I don't know that I've ever. So this is my 5th season in Blitz. I don't know that I've seen a first 11 turns that were as brutal as those first 11 turns. I mean, it was just the Vultures were being removed. I mean, they had 2 guys to put on the line on turn 13 or 14, whatever it was. They only had 2 guys left.
Wow.
It was just a demolition. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the team, I mean, most of them are AV8. There's an AV9 there, but yeah, the Vultures don't have much. And again, this is the problem when you have new teams coming into Blitz. It can be a bit of a really horrible first season if things go badly for you. And obviously being new to Blitz as well doesn't help. But I mean, like I said, the good thing for him is that obviously end of the season, if he's still in Blitz, he can bring a new team in and keep the ones what survive and going from there.
Yeah, that's the charm and that's what's the uniqueness of Blitz is the franchise building, right? It's the best of Blood Bowl and fantasy football put together, right? You can build from season to season, and that's what's great about it. So yeah, I mean it is no fun. I will knock on wood. I've never had a season that's kind of gone down the drain, although this one might be going that way. But it's no fun to do that. But again, 7 games and you have the draft coming up and you can build for the next season. It's the best part about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the Tarantulas. Like I said, I mean, basically he got the dice that Momo got in the first week, so he just obviously took Momo's dice and obviously put it onto the Vultures. But yeah, I like the scenario of Tarantulas, and yeah, that was it. That was a good win for him. Now then, here was one I really liked, and the Pounding Fathers against the Great Warriors, an absolute bloodbath, and. I mean, it basically Nuffle just showing how fickle it was. In week 1, the Warriors absolutely ran over the Tarantulas with Kaz dice, and the Pounding Fathers weren't having any of it. Weren't having it. 23 blocks. That's all they had. 3 KOs, 4 injuries, 2 dead.
Yeah, this was definitely one of those games where early on it looked like Momo was going to do the same thing. because he had the injury dice, the armor break dice in the first half were obviously in Momo's favor. His drive, he went down, scored. Then, it all turned very quickly in the second half to, the Founding Fathers they physically killed 3 people. He appoed Bobby Boulder's back, who came back, and then obviously he killed the other 2, right? So, but you're right. It was the Founding Fathers had at the end of Momo's drive, they'd had enough of that. So Chorfkin and Schwarzenegger went to work, and they put a hurting on Momo's team. So it was a fantastic game to watch. It was really a fun game to watch. Yeah.
Armac, extra bonus points. Which 2 did you kill? And did you kill a core piece, or was it just? I'm sure he killed a warrior.
He did. He killed a Nurgle warrior. He killed why can't I remember the guy's name?
It was a guard stand firm one. I think it was.
Guard stand firm, mighty blow. He was a good piece.
Yeah.
He killed. God, I can't remember that guy's name. Something the diseased.
Oh, come on.
Why can't I remember that guy's name?
Come on,
God, that's killing me. He might remember if he's in the chat. Something the virus or something. I forget what his name was. But he killed. I know he killed a warrior, a good warrior.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Puke something. Puke Michaels.
Puke Michaels. There it is. Puke Michaels. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, but that was an interesting one because, like, I sort of think the Warriors will cruise through this sort of division, but one of the teams I thought might give him problems was the Fathers, because obviously they can fight fire with fire, and obviously they took a few players down. And like I say, one was. That helps both teams. Fathers are on 2 points from 2, but that's 2 big teams have played. So I think they'll be pretty happy where they are. I think the Warriors, they've lost a few players, but they've still got the killers. They've still got the ball players. So I don't really see much of a problem there. And then the next one, well, the Outlanders had a bad first week. It got horrible. I think I turned this on about 10-13, and he had no players left. Did the Reavers? Nah. It was just crazy. But then when you look at it, it was only 3 kills, 4 injuries, 1 kill. But I don't think he's got a bench, so it just looked horrible.
Look, because he was missing 4 guys from the first week, so I think he went into it with 11. Yeah, with 11, and then once the injuries and KOs started piling up, it was down to. I'll tell you what, Dave had an impressive touchdown where I believe he had. Yeah. I want to say he had 3 guys on the field with his Kislev catcher.
I saw that.
And went the length of the field for a touchdown. That was pretty good.
I was impressed after how on earth he got that, but unfortunately he had no players to stop the 2-1 grand. Pebbles looked the real deal this year. They did a good, they got a good draw that pulled out the bag on 10-16 to get a good draw against obviously Armac, and now there's going to be the Outlanders who were tipped by many, including me and Armac, to have a good season. So, they'll be really happy. 4 points at the first. If you can get 4 points at the first 2 games, you're very, very happy with that. Let's have a look at leaderboard then for the Americans then. So, look at this. The Goals are up there with 4 points. The Pebbles are there with 4. The Warriors with 4, and just behind them is the Tarantula with 3, and the Fathers with 2. The Chaos, Gulf Coast Chaos with 2. The Vulture's got a point, and poor old Dave, bless his cotton socks, at the bottom. Showing his muscles though, carrying everybody, holding everyone up. And it is, I feel for Dave, because again, he obviously thought he had a good team this season. He was hoping he'd be there or thereabouts, and obviously the first 2 weeks it's just been a car crash for him.
And he had. He was coming off his best season. He won 4 games last year.
Yeah,
he had 4 wins last year. So he was coming off his best year, and he put together. Like I said, when you guys are doing the preview, I really liked his team. It's just, boy, when you have a horrible week 1 like that, it just sets you so far back. It really does.
And I think that's sort of like the thing when you're balancing team is like, do you go with a proper quality 11, or do you filter that down and bring in like loads of Lanos or whatever, or lesser players, because that's the worry I've got for Cesar and the Goals. They've only got them players, and if they start losing few of them, then they're in big trouble.
Big trouble. Yep.
But let's have a look for week 3 then. So we've got the Goals against the Pounding Fathers. Who you tip into
that
that
game.
One.
That game is tonight at 7, I believe. I believe they're kicking off in like an hour and a half.
Ooh.
So I think we're going to get our answers pretty quickly. I would say my pick is the Fathers.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Fathers will win the game. To your point, I just think Caesar's going to be down players.
Mm-hmm.
Like against the Fathers, like unless his big power pieces don't fire, which I guess is possible. I don't think it's likely. But you got Hulk Schorfkin and Schwarzenegger, and you got Goji Blade running around hitting your skill position players. I think Caesar's going to be down too many players, and he's in an interesting position because Caesar doesn't usually give money, but he's giving money to Armac. He's giving 160 to Armac, so he's not going to have Babes or additional Appos to kind of keep his 11 around. So I think it's the Fathers.
Right, am I right in saying that Count Ridiculous he got from you?
He did.
He did. Because I can't remember. He's got 2 touchdowns and got 1 successful catch, and he's injured someone. So it might have been a shrewd buy that. I remember people raised an eyebrow because obviously he got first pick for it, which was good business for you. But that's a lot of like capital for one player. But at the moment, he's doing well. You know, he's getting it done for his new team.
Telling you, a 6-edge leaper can make up for a lot of things. he can make you look pretty smart on a lot of things. Yeah,
he certainly can. So they've got 11 players. My concern for them is they've got three AB7, and the rest of them will be AB7 when they're hit by Chofgun and Arnie. I mean, Arnie and Hulk Hogan together. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's a devastating front line. Yeah.
If this was Goblin Gambling, I'd be going 2-0 the Fathers, unless Armac said to me, I'm going to run up a score. Then it could be even more. But I can't see the Fathers losing this unless they don't fire.
Yeah. Unless they have a really, really horrible armor-breaking game where they just can't remove anybody, which is probably going to be rare for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the goals being able to pull this one out. I know Armac's having flashbacks to last year when Gronk Big Claw demolished his team, so I know he's going to want some payback. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chorfkin takes a run at Big Claw, but I think the Fathers take this one.
Yeah, I think the thing is as well he's now bringing Arnie as well, and Schwarzenegger. He's got a Hulk as well there with strength 5 and strength 4, bit of guard. And the thing with Manos is they're really hard to protect because of the frenzy and obviously wild animal and all that sort of stuff. So he'll probably get a shot on him. But yeah, again, claw pieces, as I've said before. If I'm seeing my position, they got mighty blow claw pieces. I'm obviously going after them. You know, I'm letting my opponent know, you put them in danger, I'm going after them. I'll boot them. I'll do whatever I want because they're the sort of pieces what can really make it a bad day at the office, and they can run through a team. So, but saying all that, I think Fathers will get it done. You are right though with the goals. If they can keep up with their crazy Kaz dice, because that's what they've been getting. They've been getting some really good Kaz dice. If that continues, maybe they can pull off a shock. But I think if the goals can get a draw here, they'll be happy. But I think the Fathers, on the flip side, I think the Fathers need to win this. They want 2 points. They need to get themselves a win. If there's to draw this or lose this, dare I say, then the Fathers are in a world of pain. But I'll go with you. I'm going to go 2-0 for the Fathers. I think they get it done, personally.
Yep.
Right then, so the Port Reeve Avalanders, horrible start of the season. Played 2, lost 2. They go against the Triple T's, the Chernari Top Tarantulas. So, what do you think?
I mean, I think this is going to be another long night for Dave. He's going to be limping into this with what?
Jesus, he's lost
7,
he's got
8
4 players out. 4 players.
So he's got 8 players. So he's going to have three loners. He's only going to have 11 guys. I mean, he's obviously going to get. Yeah, he's going to be able to buy every inducement under the sun because he's going to get about 1,100 in inducements. But I can't see him. Most of his guys are going to be AV7 with the loners he gets. It's just too much. Too much firepower on the Tarantulas, and I think they're just too good at coaching from what I've seen from the Tarantulas to let it kind of slip away. I think he just takes care of business and probably gets it done. I'd probably say 2 or 3 nothing.
Mm-hmm. I think this is gonna. I think this game goes down to the mentality of Dave, if he can keep cool and composed. Because I think he's got a chance in this game. I think he'll have the chef, and if the chef takes 2-3 rerolls off, obviously the tarantulas all of a sudden he can't make a mistake, or he could get turned over. He's gonna have a wizard. He's going to have apothecaries, but if they're where, he can keep bringing his players back and get Brab so he can beat the crap out of the tarantulas. I think it all depends on the state of Dave. If Dave says, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go out, I've got nothing to lose, I'm going to throw everything at the tarantulas, they've got a chance. They'll have all the tools, wizard, and obviously the chef, if the chef works as well. The tarantulas will be the favourites. They've got an amazing team, but I think there's something there. I think there's something there for the Reavers, and I'm going to trust that Dave is mentally going to be strong. I pray he's going to be strong, and he deserves a bit of luck. So I'm going to go with a draw. I think Reavers are going to surprise a few here, and I think the chef and the wizard will do enough to get the outline as a draw.
Could be difference makers. Agreed. I think he needs. If I was going to pick, he needs the rabid Wolverine, his Yeti, to have a big game.
Yeah. He
needs him to get a couple of removals for him.
Absolutely.
As his only claw piece. Yeah.
Right, the Pebbles flying high near the top. The Tiwanaku Flying Pebbles versus the Gulf Coast Chaos. So we've got the one-turners. Well, it could be a bit of a one-turner because the Pebbles now to one-turn as well, don't they? So.
Battle of the one-turners. Yeah.
This is a really interesting game. This one, I really struggled when I looked at this because you've got Leaping. I love Leaping Fritz. I love Big Tackle Pete. He's Trees a fan. They're not funky. I liked a bit more funkiness, but it is what it is. He's got Whoop, so I know Quarter Pounder, the Puzzle Chopper. What a name that is. Oh God. They're doing well. They're undefeated. Both teams are undefeated.
Yeah. Although Gulf Coast only played one game. He did draw in the first week, and Gio's getting 540 in inducements. I'm on the Pebbles in this game. I think with the wizard and the and the bribes that he'll be able to get. And some of the other, inducements, he can grab. I'm on the Pebbles. I think they take it like 3-2.
Okay, so what they got? They got something 5 and 40. Let's have a look at the chaos. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, so basically they've lost the killer, what's obviously very helpful for Gio and the rest of them. But players like Relged, number 7. You could still have his wicked way with the Nobblers and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a tricky one. 3 reroll. I'd be tempted for a chef, Chef and wizard, I think I'd go with.
I'd be tempted. Depends how Gio wants to play it. Does he want to try to keep? Does he want to try to keep the Saul on the field? Maybe grab a bribe.
Thing with Sauls though, things with Sauls is usually they get hit. That's it. They're splattered, aren't they?
Yes.
That's a problem with chainsaws.
I certainly try to hit them immediately. If they're on the field. They're top priority to hit.
Yeah, I'm like, oh look, free XP. Come here.
But Gio's just got he's got the strength advantage with his set of big guys. Gulf Coast, technically has the speed advantage with the gutters, but none of those are really scaring you from taking the ball away from you. So none of them are ball sackers. I don't know. I think this is a tough one for Gulf Coast, dealing with all those big guys up front.
I just got this down as a really high-scoring game, so like a 3-2, 3-3, 4-3. I think both teams are going to be slinging each other. And obviously, if Gio takes the wizard, I think there's more likely that they're going to do one turn more. Play in my stadium, we both get free bribe. Oh well, I'd like to see the Pebbles foul. I'd like to see them foul because Nobblers, that's what they're there for, to foul really more than to be throwing at people
and crank up that saw, Gio.
I think what Gio should do is like grab a Noblet and just throw it into a crowd of people and see if it hits them. I can still remember Gulf Coast. Was it Gulf Coast Chaos who did that through a goblin and hit a vampire? It was glorious. The goblin died. The goblin died, but it knocked the ball loose. And I think he was so impressed by it. He did try and save him. I think he got like -1 something, but he was legendary. It was lovely. I think I've still got one of my videos. It was amazing. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, who do you trust Gio in this, or do you trust the Chaos on this, or do you think it'll be a draw?
I think Gio takes it 3-2. I think the Wizard's enough to get a stop, and I think he takes it 3-2. Yeah.
Yeah. See, this is when it's awkward because we're trying to guess what they're going to take. I mean, if he took the Wizard, he put a few boots in. I don't know, as noble as should.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This is a really tricky one. I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna go with a draw again. I'm gonna sit on the fence. I can't split this. I just can't split.
Gotcha.
I think the Chaos are more reliable one-turners than the Pebbles. But again, without knowing if he's taking the Chef or if the Chef works, I'm going to say the Chaos are at least good enough to get a draw here. So I think I'm going to go with another boring draw, I'm afraid. Well, not boring draw, 2-2, 3-3 I think it'll be.
Yeah, that's
perfect. Dear. Now that
definitely could happen.
So the Warriors not happy after they got slapped last week. Well, they come up against the Vultures, who themselves. Gosh. Oh no, this could be.
Oh no.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh no, the Vultures. I know. Yeah, I know. I know Momo wasn't happy when we were. I think we were mostly rooting for Gio's kid against him. Mm-hmm. To do well. So man, the poor Vultures. Oh God. They could. Yeah, because they're not even going to get many inducements. I mean, because they're only going to get 3. Well, they're not even going to get 300. They're going to get less than that. Yeah, because they got 3 loners, so they're going to get like 2 something, maybe 200 in inducements. So you're looking like, I guess you could take a couple appos. I would against Momo, but I mean, this looks like devastation. I mean,
yeah.
Oh God, this looks really bad.
I just don't. Oh man, I don't know. This just like, I'm sorry I can't play this week. I'm doing my nails. I'm washing my hair. That's what this looks like to me.
I'm doing anything other than playing Momo's team. Yeah. This is pretty bad. Oh man, I mean, Momo's got the strength advantage, the removal advantage. He's even got the skill advantage, really, with some of his different guys.
I will give the Vultures one little bit of hope, and granted, it's a little bit of hope, but they don't have a bench to the Warriors either. So if you can get a few removals, and this is why, I know sort of in the pros are frowning on me a bit like this because obviously I'm a rep, but fouling is such important when their team's only got 11 players. If you and to me, I'd be stacking up on Brabs or getting a few Brabs because I think the Appa route you could go on the Appa route, but I think Brabs are better because you're telling your opponent, you palm on me, I'm gonna just keep booting even if I don't have assists because I've got Brabs. You might win the game, but what if I kill Billy One-Horn? What if I kill the Doctor? That's going to hurt you in the long run. So Momo's going to have to try and get the win, but be careful at the same time. But I think the only hope the Vultures have got is basically to get lucky with the dice.
Yeah.
And to get a few down early, then, who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of the players, some of the players are AV8, so he could maybe get them. Unfortunately, he hasn't got a DP. I mean, he's got, 1, 2, 3 Mighty Blow. I mean, the Rack can leap, can he? Yeah, the Rack can leap. I'll be amazing if that's still alive after still on the pitch after about 3 turns. I don't know, man. This is.
I mean, I would. Oh God, I would love to say this is going to be a competitive game, but I think it's like maybe 3-0.
I think I think the Vulture's best chance, win the toss, go first, pray to Nuffle to remove a few players, keep booting, Because at the end of the day, if you get sent off, that's probably going to help you anyway. Just save your team.
Honestly, it's not the worst thing in the world if your guys get sent off. It's really not. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm going to go with the Warriors 2-3-0. Could even be more. Depends what's left of the Vultures.
It depends how the first couple of turns go. Yeah.
Gio says, more reliable. Have you watched my matches, Bernie? No, I haven't, Gio. But I didn't want to curse you. And I am always a bit wary with throwing nobblers and flings and that. But yeah, it's a tricky one. And you could quite possibly win. Mm-hmm. Right, so that's the Americans done and dusted. We'll quickly move on to the Europeans. Mm-hmm. Now, again, looking at this, I think so. Zerpils, he's obviously the champion at the moment. He changed franchises, so he's gone to the All Elves. Obviously, he's in the Pro Final with Elves, and now he's got these Super Elves with the Fairy Isle Unicorns. We've got the Renegades, who's a former champion in him as well. We've got Murray with all his money. We've got the chances under a new coach. What's going to be interesting? London Wombats who've come out of nowhere. Tony obviously did well last season. I've tipped him to struggle this season, so he'll probably do well. And interesting to see how the Mousseline Malice was going to pick up this time. And obviously the Timberwolves under a new coach. Bears are usually coaches them, but Dragoon, who I think made the playoffs in Europe the last 2 or 3 times under the Bears, could he be the missing link to get the Timberwolves to the playoffs and then on to obviously the championship glory? Well, week 1. Let's have a look at week 1 then. The Wombats and the Mousseline Malice United 1-1. So 2 newish sort of coaches going at it. 53 blocks, 44. A couple of injuries more for the Wombats. Didn't see the game, I'll be honest.
Neither did I.
But not
so just going off it, seemed pretty uneventful game, judging from the box score. Yeah. 97
blocks thrown. Not much happened there. But again, two new coaches, 2 Blitz. It's not a terrible thing. That I think the Mousseline will be more happier. I mean, the Wombats got 17 armor breaks to 9, almost double the amount of armor breaks. You got to play a set off as well, so they obviously was booting them as well, what was quite good. And China Hardbite got MVP as well, so really happy with that. But yeah, not really much we can say about the Wombats and the Mousseline. I think the Wombats didn't play in week 2. What's the problem? Yeah, the Mousseline getting the draw there. Like I said, as long as you don't lose the first game of the season, you're usually all right. So
it's okay. A draw in the first week is fine. It's honestly fine. If your team comes out healthy and you get a draw and you get your season off and going, no worries.
Yeah. Then the biggest disappointment of the round was the Firehams not even playing against the Renegades. Apparently, looking back, it feels like the Hams have got some sort of like they're allergic to the Renegades. Because I think this isn't the first time there's been an admin's win for the Renegades over the Hams. It's like the Hams do not want to play the Renegades. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done, and Murray couldn't get it done, so the Renegades got the win. So, bonus. I mean, that would have been a tough game for the Renegades, and
very tough. Because I do like Murray. I mean, Murray hasn't played a game yet, because I know he didn't get to play week 2 either. So it's been 2 weeks in a row he hasn't gotten to play.
That's 2 weeks. So Chuck Norris just chilling on the sideline, isn't he, with all that. Europe is Blitz on steroids this season. The champ got off to a good start though, 3-2, but I was impressed with the chances. I mean, Matt, don't know much about him apart from obviously he's Tony's son, and he went down fighting 3-2. That's a good. That's really good against the champ. So that was impressive.
Because Zerpel's team is well put together. He's got a little bit of everything. He can obviously he can do elfy stuff, but he can also pack a punch a little bit too. So his team, I know I looked ahead to week 3. They gave Mousseline a whooping in week 3. It was 4-0 if I saw it
really
correctly. So they must have just played, so they gave them a toasting. So I think this was a good outing from because 7 injuries inflicted by the Chancers, and they killed something.
Yeah. I wonder how many of them were fouls. I know he likes to foul, so some of them could have been fun fouls.
more than anything, that's his favorite thing to do is foul.
I'm pretty sure he'd foul his dad if he could.
Pretty sure.
But I thought that was an impressive performance from the Chancers, given obviously a very high-powered offense in the Unicorns and obviously the current champion. There's no disgrace in that one.
Not at all.
Now, the Eichelware Midnights versus the Timberwolves. Now, the only thing I know about this, apparently the Midnight were 2 up, and the Timberwolves came back to make it 2-2. So I hope that's right, unless other people want to correct me. These two franchises certainly have a how can I put it? They don't like each other very much. I don't think the Timberwolves and the Midnights. But again, the Midnights got 51 blocks compared to 38. A lot of KOs, but no, only 1 injury each. There was obviously hitting with pillows.
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk to Bears will tell you every season, no matter how many kill pieces he got, they never seem to deliver injuries. It's either stuns or KOs. I know, obviously, when I used to own the Timberwolves, this happened more than it should. I personally think it was Bears bad dice, but then he's giving them to Dragoon, and Dragoon's not having much luck either. You know, and again, it's Han again. Han Tavares saves the Timberwolves again. 2 touchdowns for him.
Saves the day again. He does that all the time. Yep.
You know, there's 2 players you could always rely on usually. That was Money in the Bank and Han Tavares. Obviously, the lost Money in the Bank. But Han Tavares, and it was so sad that obviously he failed in the final. But apart from that, he's usually pretty good. But I think both teams. I think Tony would be a bit annoyed being 2 up to throw away to lose the potential win there. But I think before the start of the game, they both would have took a draw. 2 of the stronger teams that I thought at the time in the division, and the point. Yeah, if I was the owner, I wouldn't have been too upset with the Wolves getting 2-2 against a good team in the Midnights.
Yeah, but, I think. Yeah, to your point, if you talked to either one of them before the game and said it's going to be 2-2 and no major injuries, nobody's going to die, and it's 2-2, I think they both would have signed up for that.
Yeah, obviously the Midnight, Tony obviously claiming that he was the Afterlife before it became cool, because obviously now there's 4 Afterlife teams.
That's true.
You know, but as I said to him, look, he was never the best. The Necro Police are the best. You know, Overkill will agree with that. You know, you just kept it warm. The Necro Police are back. We're coming back to be the top Afterlife. And
I bet he was clearly not happy having his monopoly on the Afterlife players destroyed this year. He was last year. He was the only one that could pick them.
Yeah, I mean, the thing was, though, Chase ended up getting all the different plays, so he didn't really pinch any. I couldn't really afford much.
True.
And Mousselon was really shrewd with them. I was really impressed with his draft. He had one of the best drafts, I thought, considering the money he had. I thought he did really, really well. Right, week 2, we start off with another admin result. I hate admin results. All we can say is Afai Hamzu gave away the result in the first week, got it back in the second week. I think there's some sort of language problem, unfortunately, for this one. So if anyone who can speak Italian, let me know, because apparently the Wombat team, though, it says London Wombats, the coach is Italian. Unfortunately, I don't speak Italian, so I can't really help him. You know, I can talk to him about pizzas in English, but apart from that...
I was going to say, pizza or spaghetti or something, I can do that, but that's about it.
That's about it. But the Chancers versus Mousselon, 3-3. What a game.
What a track meet. I mean, that was just up and down the pitch.
I tell you what, you know, Matt Dubbs, he knows how to put on a show. 3-2 against the champ, goes down valiantly there, and then getting it done again here in a 3-3 with a Mousselon who was obviously off to a good start. Man, I mean, again, 3 injuries each, 4, 5 and KOs. The Chancers got more blocks there, but again, what a good game.
There was no stalling in this game, that's for sure. And I'll tell you what, so through 2 weeks, that's 10 injuries for the Chancers. Okay, it's getting it done. It's certainly living up to their reputation. But yeah, I'll tell you, 3-3 is, that's an exciting game. I didn't get to see it, but there was obviously it was obviously up and down the field.
I think I'm going to have to watch these Chancers. That looks like 2 good games I've missed there. The Mousselon again, good result for the Moose as well. I've a lot, like I said, I'm big on drafts. I didn't think I drafted very well, but I thought Moose drafted really well with the stuff they got, because I was looking at a few of those players that he pinched. Again, will they make the playoffs? Who knows? But I think they're going to have a good season. I think he'll definitely build on what he's achieved from his first season. So that was a good result. Now then, the Midnight was put in their place against the Renegades. Absolutely put in their place. 3-1. The Necro players were like, well, what can you expect from the second best Afterlife team there is now?
And if you showed anybody this box score, if you just looked at the statistics and said which team won the game, you would say, well, the Midnight won. Yeah, the Midnight crushed them. I don't know 10 how injuries, 4 KOs, and 2 kills.
It's one of these. I didn't see the game, but I'm looking at them stats. I'm like, how did the Midnight not win? 42 blocks, 4 KOs, 10 injuries, 2 dead. Was there any players left for the Renegades?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And they only had 14 blocks back, 1 KO,
and no injuries. It was. I'm telling you, man. Little Mo and Cheddar Tornado were just, they were. It was just their sort of their agility and skill was just. Yeah. The Midnight was pounding the ball down the field and doing their ground and pound attack, but the agility and the speed was just too much. Just couldn't keep the ball safe.
Yeah. The Renegades looking good. They got a look. Well, I say lucky. It wasn't their fault, but it was a nice win for them in week 1. Didn't even have to play against Murray's Firehams, so that would have been a really tough game for them. They got absolutely
very tough.
They got smashed to pieces, but still got the job done. The interesting thing is obviously, like last season, and this is how fickle Blitz can be. The Midnight really well, just getting it done last season. This season already, they blew a 2-0 lead against the Timberwolves, and they've done all that damage, and they still lost 3-1. So I'm sure we've all been there when we've absolutely smashed the opponent. See the stats and think, how did we lose that game? But yeah, the Midnight are now in a bit of bother. After losing that game, that's 2 games now with 1 point. They've got it to do. On the plus side, they've played 2 of the big teams in the division, I guess. But yeah, that was a spanking. I thought, because when I saw it, I thought, all right, yeah, the Renegades can do that to anyone. It's only when I saw the stats, I was like, Jesus. How did unbelievable. These injuries must have come really late, or it was just an amazing show. I'm saying about Cheddar Mosho. You're saying Tornado.
Yeah. It was Cheddar and Mo Flanders. Yeah, they were in Little Mo. They were the stars, because I know a couple. I'm trying to remember some of the game, and these I know the 2 assassins went in there, and one leapt in, and I'm not sure if he got the ball loose, but I know I think he stabbed a tree, or he stabbed one of his big guys and got him down. A golem or one of the mummies, and stabbed him and put him down. So I know there was some stuff that got pulled off where it was it was a crazy stab where he got a 10 on the stab. Yeah. But yeah, he put the assassins in harm's way. They got annihilated off the pitch very quickly, but he's V-Power's hurting for this week. He's got one assassin out. He's got his Green Rafkin, his Skaven Killer Blitzers out. He's got another lineman out. So it was a costly win, but a pretty impressive one nonetheless.
Yeah, the Midnights obviously made him pay for the victory. Like I say, everyone was so impressed with Midnight last season. All the strength up front, they just bullied teams. But they just, so far, they haven't got it done. But they've still got time to obviously turn it around. And then this game, the Timberwolves versus the Unicorns, I did see this game. Again, the Timberwolves. Where would this team be without Han? I don't know. I really don't know where they'd be without this team. The Unicorns basically kicked their ass. They absolutely kicked their ass. They had 47 blocks to 26. They broke the Mano, who was killed, and the Apo. And the Timberwolves are the worst Apos ever. I don't even know why we bother everyone. It was what I used to say. And I think he
Right.
he didn't die, but he gave him -1 strength, so he might as well be dead. Yeah, they got their ass kicked, and like I said, they couldn't score on their drive, the Timberwolves. They couldn't get the attrition. I mean, they only got 26 blocks because the Elves are just dodging all over the place. Only 1 KO in 26, and that's claw bomb as well.
Yeah, only 6 armor breaks for them in 26 blocks.
Yeah.
Like that's to your point. Like it never seems to.
They just don't
their claw mighty doesn't fire very often. It doesn't seem.
And this is under new coach as well now, Dragoon. I mean, Dragoon, as we know, with the Bears, and I was really surprised when he gave up the Bears. I thought that was a bad call, but at the same time, I was happy that Bears kept the Timberwolves going with a very good coach in Dragoon. But it's basically, if it wasn't for Han, they would be probably at the bottom. I don't think they've got any points. But Han, that's why obviously when I got Han, I pay a lot of money to get in front of NTB to get Han, and he's probably been shrewd buy. We then booted him after costing us the final, but we got a lot of money for him, and then ironically we picked him up in the draft again when he was released. So bit of a interesting relationship Han has with the Timberwolves. But again, I mean, Tom Brady, obviously he's under the gun now with the ball. He valiantly took on about 4 or 5 Elves at once late on in the game. They tried to knock him down. It took about 9-10 blocks before he went down. But yeah,
getting it done. It's looking rough. So I mean, Darkhorn's got strength busted.
Yep.
I mean, oof, like yikes. Yeah, this is looking rough. I mean, like you said, especially for the Timberwolves, if Santa Claus and Phlegm Gums aren't firing and aren't removing some people,
yeah,
it's a long day for them. Like I said, I mean, Hantavirus can kind of bail you out, but this team is not built for it's built on being able to remove some people, and they just haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, like I said, they got Tom Brady, who's obviously going to be the ball carrier. I mean, you've got Han, you've got Ball Hunter as well, who's obviously the ball sacker, but they've got to get more production from the big killers. They're just not getting it done at all.
Not at all.
Now, it'll be interesting if they keep Darkhorns or not. They might get rid of him. He's 280k and he's only strength 4 now. It's going to be a tough one because at the end of the day, he's still got Claw. This might keep him, I don't know, but and it's just, I don't know, they'll lose 3 players there after that, and now it's against Elves. Elves kicked their ass. And again, the coaches, the owner is blaming the dice, the killers are just not getting it done again, and they're getting outbacked by Elves now. I don't know where the Timberwolves come from here, I really don't. I'm sure he'll be having Dragoon in the office asking him what the heck's going on. You're supposed to bring me a title at the moment. If you want for Han, we'll be nowhere. But they're gonna have to come back big in week 3. That is for sure.
Big time.
Right, so let's have a look at the games then. Hamlin Renegades against the Wombats. Gotta go Renegades, surely.
They're pretty beat up, but I mean, I think I would still put my money on V-Power. He's still got, obviously he's got Little Mo, but he's still got Cheddar Tornado. He's still got some really good pieces. But they're definitely limping into this one. But I think, I still got to go with them because they're not going to give. They're actually going to get a significant amount of money from the Wombats. So I would think short-handed, but I still got to give the edge to V-Power. But the Wombats will be able to score. I think with some of their skinks that they got running around, I think they'll be able to do that.
They've still got some decent players who can do damage as well. Mazda Soul Smith, the Saurus looks good. Gangrene Eugene, he's obviously been around. Booty McTavish, one of the best foulers. I love Booty McTavish. He gets it done. Bob Bifford, the celebrity as well there. They've got the ball carrying Crocs Lanther, the Crocs go. So you look. They got a bench as well. They've got a bench as well. So
which could be big. I mean, granted, V-Power just won a game 3-1 where he suffered 10 injuries. So I mean, I guess you got to take that into consideration. But Yeah, I think the Wombats could, with Cheddar Tornado running around, I think the Wombats could draw this game. I
Yeah.
do think they could get a draw out of this game, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if I looked at both these teams and I didn't know who coached them, take both the coaches away, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm definitely on the Wombats for this. I'm all on the Wombats.
Right.
Then you insert the coach and like former champion of MML Pro and of Blitz, and this is the Renegades know how to win. And then you look at what happened to him against the Midnight. I should go against them, but I can't. I just feel
it's hard.
I just feel the Renegades coach gets it done. If someone turned around to me and said the Wombats gets it done, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going with the Renegades. I'm going to go 2-1 Renegades.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with tie. I'm gonna say it's a one. I think it's a draw. I think the Wombats are able to scrape out a draw.
Yeah.
Against V-Power.
I think that's a fair thing. And then obviously the Unicorns absolutely ran over the Mooshlon Mallets, who's had such a great time so far. And yeah, Zerplus was not messing about here. And again, the Unicorns doing better on the damage as well. Less blocks, but 1k or 3 injuries killed something. You know, they're getting it done.
If you consistently have an elf team that's out bashing who they're playing, they're about unbeatable. I mean, I don't know how you're going to beat an elf team that's constantly winning the armor break battle. Yeah, this was, like you said, he just, Zerples was not messing around in this game. Just, 4 passes, 4 catches. He was just zipping down the field and scoring pretty much at will, it looks like.
Zerples is in chat. He's saying Firestorm's killing everything.
Yeah. I was eyeing that guy up, Zerples. He was definitely on my list of different guys that I wanted.
Yeah, he would have been, if I had elves, he would probably, no surprise, because he's a killer, it'd probably be my first pick. I'm like, yeah, I'll be taking Firestorm, thank you. A killer, an elf killer, and I get paid. Yeah, shocker. Bernie gets a kill piece, and if it kills stuff, he gets paid for it. Yeah, that's my first pick. It had got in the expansion. So yeah, he's a great pick. So people, now it's said that, you guys need to kill it. I mean, Chillwind's good. 7 injured in 3 games, bloody hell. Yeah, I mean, the only reason they didn't beat the Timberwolves is because of Han. There's no Han this week, and 4-0. It was a statement. Again, it's a good team, but again, it's the coach, one of the best easily on the console, and especially when he's playing elves. And again, like I said, when I did the pre-cap with Armac, I was pretty confident the Unicorns were going to run away with this division. And and Zerples did the same with the Poachers. They had no issues getting to the playoffs. Used to top the group. I think they'll top the group again this season. And like I said, while Firestorm's getting it done on the damage front, it's hard enough to beat Zerples if you got the numbers on him. If he's got the numbers on you, then well, oh dear.
I mean,
it's
all over.
It's not going to be good, is it? I feel robbed. No. I feel robbed because I think I would have tipped the Unicorns, but I would have tipped them to win 4-0. I mean, that's a really impressive result. I'm just trying to see who he killed. I don't know if he killed anyone good. I don't know if Zerples know what he killed. I don't think it's any of the big guns though, because Brad's made games like 2 wolves are there.
I don't think so. Maybe it was a zombie or a.
Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. The Timberwolves against the Firehams. Murray's yet to play a game.
The Firehams making their season debut in week 3. I mean,
full strength, 3,000 TV.
I mean, I know, he's gonna, Dragoon's gonna be getting like 900 in money, but I mean, the Firehams not having played anybody, I mean, how are you picking against this team? You got Cold Claws, Chuck Norris, Hercules, Muscles from Brussels. You got Juan Smurf is one turning all over the place. I mean, yikes.
I just get so jealous of this team because, like, I always say it. Give me this team, I'll win you championship, Dave. I can't understand how Murray won a championship with this team. I mean, look at it. I mean, what else do you need? You got Chuck Norris. Yeah. Chuck fucking Norris. And you got Juan Smith. Gotta love Juan Smith. all that money in the bank. Maybe that's why Dave wouldn't let me coach this team, because he knows I'll be like, oh, buy. Well, at least Murray's a bit shrewd. Murray's a bit shrewd with money. I'll be just like, I'll have that, I'll have this. Yeah, it's 200k for your first pick. I'll take that. We were bankrupt after about one season.
Oh my god! If I had Murray's bankroll, I'd be like a kid in the candy store in the draft. But this team is just. I mean,
I feel sorry for the Timberwolves this week. But then again, this is so weak the Timberwolves might fire. But look at all that strength 5 humans, strength 5 big lads, strength 4 humans, guards, Chuck Norris, Juan Smith.
He's got Chuck Norris. He's got ball sackers. He's got a claw palmer in cold claws. He's got mighty blow all over the place. He's got 7 movement, 5 strength pieces running all over the place. He's got a strength 4 muscles from Brussels who can leap in and kill things. Jesus, this team's really good.
He really should be making the playoffs for this team. It hurts me if he doesn't. Obviously, he didn't play first week, so he lost that game against VPLV's team, Renegades. He then got an admin win this week. So 2 games in, he's healthy. He's got 3 points on the board. He comes up against the Timberwolves, who are wounded, as we know. The good thing for the Timberwolves is they will get plenty of inducements. And they still have the 2 killers in Santa Claus and Flem Guns. The run's out for this game, but they've still got Hantavirus. And while they've got Hantavirus, they've got a good chance. But they are going to be running this game with just 11 players.
That's tough. To your point, a wizard and a chef can tilt the balance, especially if the chef does his thing. And, again, Hantavirus gives you a chance because he can just get it done. But, if the chef works and, Murray gets some bad dice, could go to Timberwolves' way. But they will need Flemgums and Santa Claus to have tremendous games to win this one, and I don't think that's going to happen.
As great as Han is, I say the Timberwolves gets absolute steamrolled this week.
It's lining up that way.
Steamrolled, get out the way. We want the ball. I'm really worried about Han this week. I think Han could be in for a lot of attention. They will get the wizard and they will get other stuff, and they could pull out the bag. But on paper, and I know it ain't played on paper, but on paper, I as much as it hurts me to go against the Timberwolves, I've got to go Firehams 2-1, 3-2, something like that. I think they'll just win them over.
I think so. He's going to have, to your point, he's got to try to protect Han because he's got to play on defense. And listen, I know we're saying Dragoon has 11 players. 2 of those players are Noblars. So he really has 9.5 players.
Yeah.
So it's really tough. I think I agree with you. I think the Hams probably steamroll this 3-1 would be my guess.
Yeah, and the thing with Han is they can try and protect him, but Chuck Norris can leap over and smack him, and so can the other ones.
So can the muscles from Brussels. Yeah, they can both attack him. Yeah,
I don't know. And we know the apples never work for the Timberwolves, so they're in trouble there. Now the fun one of the week was the Midnight versus Chance's father versus son. Can't wait to see absolute carnage. The Midnights, they need a result because they are not having a good time.
No, they need a win big time. It's going to be for very little, almost no inducements. Tony will get 90, but that's going to give him maybe a babe. So not much here. I have to. I'm going to lean towards Tony in this one. I think he's due for kind of a breakthrough win. And I think, the Chancers, I think it becomes if this becomes a slugfest, which I think it's going to, I check a big advantage box to Tony. He's just got the strength. He's got the guard. He's got Reggie running around fouling everything. I think it's a midnight win. With Cheddar Moss, though, the Chancers are never out of it, but I'll say it's a midnight win 2-1.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because, like I said, there's so much claw in this team for the chances, and obviously that especially with having the Pommer as well, that could be massive. Unfortunately, they aren't going to be able to use inducements to hire like fouling players because they're actually high TV. The only thing I'm convinced with this game is I think there's going to be deaths. It's going to be a bloodbath. But the Midnight can't lose this game. They can't. They need to get a result, and I think because of that, I think they'll scrape up a dodge, maybe 2-1. I think they'll win it, but they'll crawl through it for a 2-1.
I agree. I think it's like a 2-1. Yep, yeah. I'm with you.
So looking at the group, then the Renegades are looking good. VPLV trying to get them back to the promised land and try and win their second title. The Unicorns are just behind there already. Although they've played this week, so why hasn't that been confirmed? I'll confirm that now while we're here. No, what confirmed the round? That would be disastrous.
Yeah.
We'll get that in now before I get shot. So yeah, so there we go. Updated as we speak. So yeah, so Zerpods and Unicorns are on top with 7 points. Renegades can go top again if they win this week. Firehams, well, we just want to see them play. The Timberwolves, well, I'm not saying this. They can't afford to lose. Whatever happens, I think the same with Tony. I mean, Tony's right at the bottom there. His son will love it. His son will love it if he can keep his dad at the bottom there.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think that it's going to be a great week. Here we go. Right, finally we saved the best for last. Not biased at all.
Absolutely.
And it's the World again.
Easily the best division.
Absolutely, is the best division. I think when me and Armac did do the pre-cap for this, I think I was really sweet on the winners. I really like the winners. We also was asking, will the Nightmares bounce back? Because, you know, they're living off that shaky dog destruction of a few seasons back. They just haven't made the promised land. To me, they've found a way to not win games the last couple of seasons, what's unfortunate for Proud Star. I thought they built really well this season. I was hoping to see how they would go. And the 76ers, they just looked like a beast. I was on record saying I wasn't exactly happy with my draft. I was honest and said, look, I'm not happy. I thought the Howlers were going to struggle. Razor Claw seemed to be the fun team. The Bulls are expecting to be up there. And the Stat Freak Tequilas I expect to do well as well. Let's go to week 1 then. The Howlers put up a brave fight against the winners, 2-1. I thought it was a good effort from the Howlers.
I thought so. Clearly, sort of, we know it's a rebuilding year for Nick.
Yeah.
So got end, but yeah, I thought he was definitely outmanned against the winners, and I thought he put up a pretty good fight in that game.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bubble Butt, what name that is, got an AV down for the Howlers, for the winners. Again, another team, another big franchise, what's won the championship before under a new coach in Pong Has. I've known him since his champion ladder days. Extremely good, especially with elves, and he obviously has people like Jay Love on the team. So I expected the winners to be right up there, and good first win. The 76ers versus the Necro Police, really unfortunately, due to things totally out of control, DeMarco couldn't play on the Sunday, so we thought the fairest thing for that would be a draw. So both of us got a point. And there's not really much we can say about that. I would have took a point before they started the game, so, no problems there. The Bullies getting it done against the Razor Claws. Now, luckily, you are the coach of the Bullies, so you can tell me about this one. This seems an interesting game. 19 breaks to 16.
It was. I thought the breaks were. I thought the dice didn't really kind of not affect the outcome, but they weren't slanted overly one way or the other. It was a good first matchup for my team because obviously Chase went with the 11 be different players, so there wasn't a lot to. He didn't have a lot of tackle pieces to threaten Dodge Viper and Ted Berry and Questing Knight, etc. So I was able to bring get the vamp going and bring some of my speed to bear on him and kind of my higher agility. But tell you what, his two thralls, his killing thrall, No Legs Morty and the thrall guy,
yeah.
are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Don't like playing either of those guys, but it was a good game. Like I said, it was. I got to bank some good be different cash, but Chase's team is sneaky. They're sneaky good because they're faster than you think, and if you're not prepared for that, they can sneak up on you. If you're not prepared for that. Yeah.
Strength 7, agility 3, mummy, leaping mummy. Gotta love that.
Oh my god, yeah.
I watched this on obviously Cabal highlights, and I kept like putting my hands over my eyes with Dodge Viper rolling ones. I was like, oh my god, he's paid all this money for Dodge Viper, and he never failed a leap for me. Never failed a leap, and he was just consistently just falling all over the place for you. I was like, oh my god, what's going on here?
It has been an inauspicious start for the Viper. I don't know if me spending all that money on him put too much pressure on him, but he had that game. He failed both of his leaps.
Yeah.
He obviously got injured, which was fine. Let him sit out. He rolled a double skull in that game that I had to re-roll. Yeah. Then in our game, I know we haven't gotten to that yet, he rolled double ones on a GFI. So he hasn't been playing himself lately, so hopefully that turns around. But his first 2 weeks have not been less than stellar. Armac said that was a let JimmyMac do whatever he wants kind of game.
Yeah, I think it's all the money was in his pockets weighing him down. So when he goes to leap, he can't get off the ground. All that money what he got from his agent from you signing him, I think. But again, I mean, oh man, I mean it's a good team. I mean this team should be there or thereabouts. I think quite a few people expected them to even make the final. I mean, you got Ted Berry. I've always been a fan of Ted Berry. I just like the guy, Pretty Boy Eric, Dodge Viper. Now, obviously, if he comes good, he's great. The question I still can't understand why the Bears got rid of him when the Bears were about. Obviously, you got Bruter and you got JimmyMac as well. The Mentalist, obviously, always good to have a vamp on there. The Tornado of Valencia was interesting how he would do, but again, 14 plays. You got 2 kill pieces there as well. It's a well-balanced team who can get the ball out, throw the ball, score quickly. They've got all the bases covered. And I know when we did our preview show, we was quite sweet that the Bullies could get it done. So yeah, a good 2-0 win for the Bullies. And then finally, well, this is a bit of a rivalry. The Nightmares against the Tequila. And the Tequila, again, they beat them last season when the Nightmares were going to crush them. And they've done it again, 4-0.
4-0. And this was a case of, again, sort of, Proud just doesn't have, to deal with the Elf team, he just doesn't have enough agility on his team and ball handlers. And it was that shown through because, listen, he did get some removals. I mean, he had 7 KOs and 4 injuries and 53 blocks, which is pretty good. But
a lot of blocks.
But it was just too much, any ball handling error, any sort of bad dice at all in Proud Star, like if he fell behind the chains or things didn't go well, Foxtrot with his 10 movement is zooming right in the backfield to grab the ball. Yeah. And he doesn't have anybody back, and he doesn't have anybody that can counter that, so that it just snowballed away from him quickly.
Yeah, I mean the Foxtrots, they've got some stat freaks, just ridiculous. Obviously, you look at a team like Braveheart, Foxtrot, both very good players. We've got Strength 5, 3 Strength 5 players as well, which is crazy. A couple of Strength 4 players. Obviously, Muck and Grinder as well. They've got themselves a Fowler as well, kicker. They're a good team. They just haven't got a bench now. That's the only weakness. But again, Elves don't use our benches. They've got, they can win games with 3-4 players on the pitch. 4-0. Jesus, that's a spanking and a half. That, and then I know he put a story up about it again, saying like the Tequila just done them again. I think that'll be extremely frustrating for Proud Star. And obviously he would have been hoping for a response in week 2. Losing the game is never good, but to lose 4-0, that is a. And don't forget the Nightmares have this so-called, or the Nightmares, basically have this proud thing of saying, look, week 1, if you get us week 1, we're gonna break you. But it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. The Tequila's like, no problem, 4-0. Job done.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so Tequila, to me, I thought out of all the teams, there was an impressive one. They got it done 4-0 against Nightmares. Obviously, the Bullies got the job done. The winners, I expect them to get it done. I was quite proud of the way the Howlers stuck in on that game, and obviously We'd have to wait for the Sixers and the Police to make their debuts in week 2, and then week 2 it started off with the winners getting it done over the Nightmares. The Nightmares lose Fungus for the next week as well.
Oh, yeah, it did not get any easier for the Nightmares running into the winners in week 2. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the winners as well. 2 KOs, 5 injuries, and 1 kill. So they both killed something, but the winners putting their hair on them. The Nightmares, and obviously the winners do have Trofeo as well in their team. But Pongans, again, very good coach, making it 2 from 2, and the Nightmares are having a nightmare season. And obviously
Yes.
Fungus Saloon's down for week 3. He got, I think, a -1 AV on his Fnatic, but that's not terrible because if you knock them down, they're KO'd anyway at the very least. So, yeah, I don't know where the Nightmares go from here. I'll just have a look at the team of the Nightmares. Where are we?
It's tough. I know they losing Grimlock Crackjaw the first week. I know when Jock killed him, that certainly hurt.
That's the one that lost it. Crikey, he was a good player. Was he an Oak Blitzer, wasn't he? Grimlock Crackjaw.
He was. Yeah, he was
a pommer.
Pylon, Mighty Blow, Pylon, tackle, jump up. He was a good player.
He was. So losing him, that's one of your big players. Like I said, the thing with Fungus is he's always done well for Nightmares. When Nightmares cause carnage or kill stuff or injure stuff or break stuff, it's usually Fungus doing it. So to lose him for week 3, what's against the Necro Police, is a big loss for him. He's still got some strength in Fluffy, Tirade, the Kraken. I think the Kraken got killed this week, but the Apo saved him or something like that. He got badly broken and all that, but Apo did his job. I don't know where we go with the Nightmares. I think Proudstar is a bit down, like a few people at the moment, because the team's not doing what he was hoping for. Just for your attention, the Nightmares against the Necro Police play tomorrow in about, let's see if I get my phone here, about 12, 13 hours time. They'll be playing.
Excellent.
And yeah, so we'll obviously discuss that matchup obviously when we get to it in week 3, but the Nightmares are having a really bad time. Pong went right after Fungus. Yep. Yeah, he would do. Kraken, the captain's going to have to lead from the front. I have this joke with Proud that he's the fake Kraken. You don't like it when I say that, but if he's the real Kraken, he's got to step up. But if he can step up in week 4 instead of week 3, that'd be great. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. I really do like the Nightmares. They're one of my favourite teams. They are my favourite team, but for whatever reason, they just haven't got it done this week, and hopefully they won't get it done in week 3 either.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough outing. I mean, losing Crackjaws and now having Fungus the Loon out. I mean, you're down to just I mean, yes, they got the Saurus, which are great, but they're all agility 1s. I mean, so you're talking about trying to handle the ball. It's like, wow.
They've got no bench either, and obviously after last season when I got absolutely beat up with my elves and I had 2 people left with a war dance saying, you ain't scoring, I might be the only player on the pitch. I've told my Necro Police I want this team drilled into the ground after what they did to us last season. As a saying Cobra Kai, no mercy, get it done. Because if we don't, we'll end up getting broken ourselves. But the Lycansaur Razor Claws, good result for them against the Tequilas. I thought the Tequilas would get that done, but they didn't. It was 1-1. The Razor Claws showing that they've got them sharp claws.
They're something to be. Now they certainly had their armor break dice was pretty tremendous there. At 30 blocks, they got 6 KOs, 3 injuries, and they actually, they killed. I think they killed 3 things. His 5 strength, 5 agility, Sands of Time, got Apo'd into MNG for Jock, so he almost lost one of his bigger players. But really, I watched that game. That really came down to Jock actually had a wizard in that game, used it. And Foxtrot went in, picked the ball up, and tried to get away and
GFI,
GFI.
Yeah, I remember.
So once that happened, Razor Claws kind of got around it. And it was a 1-1 draw. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, the Razor Claws they're sneaky. sneaky good. Like I said, they're faster than you think, and they have a lot of crazy. Just like they have a leaping zombie, a leaping mummy. Like they have a lot of stuff that's like that you don't expect to do things. But yeah, that was a really good result for Chase. I thought extremely good.
Yeah, there's one of these players. I think was it. I can't remember which player it was now. Cause when I watched it, the Razor Claws kept beating up on one player. I think they kept booting him as well, and I was like, "Crikey, what has that guy done to the Razor Claws? Just picked on him all the time." I did. Jocks in the chat. Did you lose a Be Different player? I could have sworn you lost somebody. Someone good.
68% Kaz rate. He lost his 5 strength 5 agility guy was out for the game, or he got killed and then Appoed in MNG, so he lost him.
Lost another one. I could be wrong then. But yeah, I mean, I saw that I saw the quickly. Obviously, when you see the highlights, obviously the failed JFI again. Brython Foxtrot was he one of my players last season? I want to say it was.
I think he was.
Yeah, so Dodge Viper letting you down, Foxtrot letting him down. It's not a good advert for taking my players.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, but again, 68% Kaz rate. I mean, I still expect the tequilas to be there. It was just a bad day at the office for them, you know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Muck and Grinder put the boot in. I think got sent off his first foul. It's just one of those days. Obviously, they got it done because I think Foxtrot with movement 10 got it done. Two liners, so nothing them really. But obviously that's your bench con. But yeah, Foxtrot, I think there was 2 1-die attempts on the Blitz, but they needed the power, didn't get it, and he got it done in the end. Obviously repaid the faith shown by Jock after messing up with that failed GFI. 1-1's not a bad result. I think this is going to be a pretty tight division myself. I think people are going to keep beating each other up. You know, and I'm going to be interested to see how they do week 3, as we'll have a look in a minute. The Necropolice finally got to play a game, and boy did they come and play a game against the unfortunate Bullies.
Obviously, they certainly did.
Neither of us had a good time, as we said in our semi-finals in the MML Pros. Unfortunately, it didn't get good for you. I mean, we played what, 11 10s, and they had 14 armor breaks, 11 10s, 15 blocks, 4 KOs, 2 injuries. Killed your claw piece, but the Apple did it to an MNG.
Yep.
Dodge Viper, like you've already said, didn't have a great game. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about this one. He's more of a you get in that rut where you have some bad games and it just won't sort of you're wanting it to just snap. I suppose the Bullies would have been quite confident after a good 2-0 win the first week, but unfortunately, I felt like this was a hangover from the semi-final, unfortunately, and they just didn't get it done, did they? I mean,
it was you said, again, bad day at the office. It was just nothing worked. I mean, and it was just from the start, nothing. Couldn't get any traction. Couldn't get any. I needed like maybe an early removal or 2. I certainly went after some of your dirty players, trying to get them out of the game. Yeah. Couldn't knock any of the thralls down. So I was hoping I could at least limit some of the fouling by going after them, but it just didn't work out. Like I said, I rolled, I think, 8 pushes and 1 POW. 4 skulls, 8 pushes, and 1 POW. So I mean, that's hard to do anything there, and it would that game just snowballed out of control. Like you said, it kind of I'll admit I tilted in that game on turn 9. The tilt machine was it was the pinball machine was reading tilt. On that for sure. Yeah,
the fouling was good straight on. I had the chance of taking a shot on the claw piece. I knew if I just knocked him down, I had a foul on, and obviously the foul was a death. Luckily, the Apple saved him, but he was out for the rest of the game, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just one of those games. I mean, it'd have been interesting to see what people would have thought going into the game, because I was like, crikey, he's got Dodge Viper, he's got this guy, he's got that guy, and he can get the ball, he can kill my players, and luckily for me, my guys was like, look, we aren't messing about. Let's get this game done right. Let's put this to bed really early on and get out of Dodge, because we do not want to miss them. We don't want to make the Bullies any angrier. But I think that was a game where the Necropolice were like, right, all you kill pieces, we get you down, we're going to boot you. If you're a ball carrier, we're going to boot you. If you're a nice piece, we're going to boot you. If you're a lino, we're probably going to... In fact, we're just going to boot everybody because police brutality is what we do. Simple as that.
It's the way the way the team was built. So there's nothing wrong with that. You got to take advantage of it. Yeah, it was just looking forward to moving on to next week, and like I said, hopefully I get out of this funk. But
absolutely. The only thing I will say on that is Big Mac meal. Obviously from McDonald's, the Big Mac meal rolled 666. And I didn't really want to give him strength, but because it was a Big Mac meal, I just thought it was just funny. I just thought, you know what, strength or thrall,
right?
Why not?
Why not?
I've got strength or thrall now. He's probably not going to last long, but he's there. And obviously my team's built on quite a bit of strength, so I thought an extra strength 4 piece there. Yeah, I don't mind if I do.
Fits right in. It
does. And to have 3 deck plays for this week is glorious, because I'll probably need them. Right, and finally, the Howlers had a bit of a howler against the 7-6s. 7-6s, again, they was playing their first game. Again, I wasn't impressed with the Howlers. I thought it was always up against it, but I thought they had a really good chance to stop the first score. They just blitzed and did everything wrong. I think it was 10-7, and basically the 7-6s got the dice they needed to score. And then I think I switched on to another game, and they obviously got steamrolled 3-0.
Yep.
Looking at the teams, though, I mean, Howlers was always going to be in trouble. That 7-6s team is scary. I mean, they've got so much power. I'm sort of glad out the game. The game I actually dodged was that one, because we let them bully, but you can't bully strength. What is it, 7-8 trees or whatever? I mean, it's just crazy.
They are my opponent this week coming up, which we'll talk about. But they are, you know, the I might be jinxing myself by saying this, but I don't like. So I thought playing your team scared me more than playing this team.
Really?
Yes, particularly because of Cody Michaels. Cody Michaels scared the hell out of me because he's a mobile, mighty blow claw tackle piece that my elves can't get away from. Right? They can't. He can track them down and hit them, which he did. He took the Questing Knight out. He took Pretty Boy Eric out, so he can do that. Where this team, yes, he's got 3 trees. Yes, he's got an ogre. He's going to have the Death Roller for however long he's on the pitch for one turn. So he's definitely got the strength, but I think I can run away from. I think I can outmaneuver this team. He's got his 2 War Dancers who are movement 9.
Yeah.
But I think I'll take my 4 or 5 guys against those 2 War Dancers. If I can run around and kind of outmaneuver. I mean, granted, DeMarco's a great coach, so I mean his positioning is always good. But I mean, a 2 movement tree, a 2 movement tree, a movement 4 tree, like he's pretty slow. I think I can get around his guy. So I actually like my matchup against him better than I did against you.
Yeah, and the good thing as well is I think this could be a game where Dodge Viper just absolutely breaks a War Dancer. He needs to, he's had a bit of a tricky start to his career, but he was built to go War Dancing hunting. So
yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Hopefully, he'll repay your faith. But again, the Howlers, I mean, the Howlers, I mean, I honestly thought they had a good chance of holding it to a 0-0 at half time, but it just didn't get it done. And they are a team with very few stars. I mean, obviously, Money in the Bank is their superstar, and Gnar Hunter, I think he was a really good buy. I know a lot of people was after him. Taramoko has been a solid player. I mean, like I said, they're a solid no frills team. It's just in Blitz, especially in this season when there's some really powerful players, I think he's going to struggle. At the same time, though, he can have a wizard. He's going to get a lot of inducements, and he has been playing really well. I mean, he played really well in the ranch. He's been showing improvements in there, and I think Nick's just going to think, you know what, a lot of top coaches would struggle with this team. You know, we've been playing it for years. So I wouldn't sort of like beat myself up over this. I would just try and get as many points as you can from Gnar Hunter. Try and protect him, make sure he doesn't get splattered. And then obviously go there. I mean, like you say, he's got Money in the Bank. It was one of my favourite players, and I think it will be a tough sort of season for him, but I still think he'll get a win. I just hope it's not against me. But here we go. Right, let's go then. Final lot of predictions. If you guys want to predict in the chat, by all means do so. Gio's saying, somebody please stop the 76ers. Well, we'll see in a minute if we think that can happen. The winners against the Razor Claws. So the winners yet to drop a point. They come up against the Razor Claws.
I don't see the problem with the problem that the Razor Claws have in this game is that, well, one, they only have 11 players, but not only are they playing the winners, they're giving the winners 450 in inducements.
Yep.
Oh, I mean, that is a serious problem because you're giving that team that much inducement money. Yep. I mean, you're giving Garth Brooks and Sapphire Raven and J-Love a wizard. Oh, God. I mean, that's tough. I think, the winners' top, 5 players are really, really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Now, after that, I'm not that impressed. They have some serviceable chorfs. None of them have Mighty Blow, but they have guard, so it's cheap guard. And he's got some Habos and some Brett Lyman. But, I mean, those 5 guys with a wizard, whew, I gotta go winners here 2-zip.
Yeah, the thing with Ponghans, I think he doesn't usually run up a score. He's usually quite controlled in the way he plays. Like I say, he's got Troll Vader and Jock says winners take it, Vader will slice through them. Interesting that J-Love and Thranduil both have niggles, so if he can get to them, there's a good chance of breaking them.
True.
But again, you're giving him a wizard. Holy snikers!
Holy cow! That's just crazy. It's crazy.
J-Love misses this game, does he?
He does?
I don't think he does. Does he?
Not on the team.
No. He missed. I think he missed the second game. I think the game he's just missed.
Yeah, I think It looks the game. It's showing he's back this game.
Yeah, he's back this game. It was last game he missed. I mean, look, the be different players. I mean, Chase is very shrewd. He's going to get a spin on a special be different roulette at the end of the season because he took all be different players, and he's going to make a lot of money with these players. So regardless what happens this season, next season it could be quite a rich franchise. But yeah, I can't see them. I think the winners wins this 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. I think he'll be comfortable in for the winners. I can't see the Razor Claws. If the Razor Claws get anything from this game, then I'll be really impressed.
Me too. I'll be very impressed, especially given them a wizard and giving them babes and bribes or appos. That would be very impressive.
Yeah, I think so too. So the Nightmares take on the Necro Police. Obviously, the Nightmares, regarded as the most feared team ever in Blitz history, take on the Necro Police, who claim to be the best Afterlife team in history, and also, the coach. I'm not the owner, but the owner wants us to stamp our mark on this Blitz season. Obviously, he was. I remember him playing against Murray and boot the living daylights and by fouling. There's a bit of after talk after that one. Murray wasn't impressed. But yeah, he likes his fouling, and as you can see, it's definitely got a bit of an overkill twist with 3 foulers in the Necro Police, and as you obviously knew in week 2, there will be boots flying. The police don't care. That's why we have a bench. And obviously, I think this is the first time I'm going to actually out-strength the Nightmares. Was a nice feeling because he usually has about 5-6 strength 5 pieces, and I can't deal with that usually.
Right.
But he doesn't, and he doesn't have fungus either. But he will get 400 in inducement, so he could go for a chef. But if he gets a chef, he can't take the wizard. He could just go all out and get brabs. You just don't know with the Nightmares. But what do you think of the game? How do you think it's going to pan out?
I think it's. I mean, I do think it'll be. If I had to guess, that would be of the 400 would probably be, since he's light on players, and one of those players is the chainsaw. I think he probably takes 2 bribes, and probably a wizard would be my guess, and maybe a babe. But I think Proudstar is just too beat up. I see Cody Michaels basically running around and doing whatever he wants in this game, and I don't think there's really anybody that can stop him. So I just don't see I don't see that he's got the horses. I think you have the strength to match him as well. So he doesn't even have a strength advantage in this game. So I think it's the Necro Police 2-zip.
Yeah, I mean, it depends where he goes. I mean, does he risk the chef if he take on all my like rerolls? He'd have a chance there. I mean, he could go wizard if he wishes. He's only got 11 players, but he go apples. It's a really tough sort of thing. Like I say, he's lost Grimlock Crackjaws was a huge, and the talisman of this team has always been Fungus Saloon, so he's out as well. Max Ogre is a pretty good player. He's got Mr. Fluffy as well, so he's got the two big lads there. I'm trying to remember my team now. Yeah, Connor Michaels. I mean, obviously he didn't have much to do, but he obviously injured the Question Knight. I think he was the one who injured the Question Knight.
He is. And Pretty Boy Eric, by the way, he got both of them.
Took them both. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Connor Michaels got it done in that game. Weapon X and obviously Ego between them will be trying to get it done, I guess. Looking like a Weapon X there. Yeah, he's a funny one, isn't he, Weapon X? Because I got them both because obviously I didn't have much money. You know, I was like, Brady's son's got dump off, so if someone leaps into the cage and gets Brady, there's a good chance I can dump off to Weapon X, or I can pass and catch with them two if I feel I'm comfortable to make catch that way. But again, Weapon X has no protection. He has literally no protection. So and neither is Ego, and he doesn't have he can't be saved if he does. So there's a bit of risk there. Coda Michaels had a great game. He obviously killed the two players. But again, I'm looking at my 6 dudes in the middle there, the 6 strength 5 pieces. They've got to get it done, and they're strength 6. And then I just hope my fowlers come to the pie again. You know, that's the fowling's my sort of. I get the fowlers, and the reason I have so many of them is to send a message to my opponent that, you know, if you're going to bring your good players down, if I knock him down and don't injure him, I'm going to put the boot in. That's what's going to happen. And if I've got 4 or 5 players around him, there's a very good chance I can injure him. And sometimes a dead player is more deadly than a claw piece. Because if you break armor without using DP, you've got a +1 already. And if it's a niggle, it's a +2. So, you know, it's all like a mental game when you have dead players. And anyone who's smart will know me having 3. I'm just going to go straight off the bat. And if I'm low TV, I'm just going to get brabs. Obviously, I'm not in this game. But yeah, I think this could be a tough game. If he got a few, I think this depends on what inducements he takes. I think
agreed.
That is, you know, don't be surprised if I go with Big Mac Meal to try and get like a TD with him. If he takes a wizard, I might go with Big Mac Meal because you know, at the end of the day, you know. If I get 2 touchdowns from him, I get another level. He's already strength 4. Maybe the Big Mac Meal is going to be the future of my franchise. Sorry, not my franchise. You know, future of the team. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go. What do I go with here? 2. I'll go 2-0. And then hope we get it win. I mean, it's a game we've got to win. I think we've got off to a good start with 4 points, and we played the Howlers week 4. So with my sort of owner's GM hat on, I'm thinking if I win both them games, we've got our money from Goblin Gambling. We need to get 9 points. So if we can win this game and win the next one, that means whatever happens in the season, we've got the cash, you know, and that's
right.
Something we don't have. We just don't have any money, so we need the money. So, but yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 as well and hope we can get it done. But you can never count out the nightmares. Jock says he'll go Wiz, Brab, Apo. I don't know. You never know with nightmares. You just never know.
Yeah, you never know. He's definitely going to go at least 1 bribe, if not 2. But the rest is kind of up in the air. I'm not sure.
It depends if he wants the chef. If he wants the chef, then he ain't going to get much more. If he goes chef and brab, if he
chef
wants.
and bribe, yeah. If he wants it, yeah.
I think against my team, a chef would be better than a whiz because I can counter the whiz. Because the thing is, he hasn't got the players. It could like zap my player or whatever, but he hasn't got the speed or the players to get the ball and go like an elf team would.
To take advantage of it. Yeah.
So
you're right.
although Wizard's scary, I'd be more worried him taking a chef if the chef works, because that means I've got to really be careful then.
True.
But there you go. Right, the tequila shots versus the howlers. This is my bet of the week. The shots run up a score. Could be another 4-0 this one. I can't see the shots losing this.
I was gonna say 3 or 4-0. Probably I'd lean towards 4. I think it depends how much Jock wants to try to feed some touchdowns to his BD players.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure he doesn't want Foxtrot scoring all his touchdowns. So yeah, I mean, so that might slow him down a little bit, but I mean, I don't see how Nick, even though he's gonna have a wizard and he's gonna have lots of inducements, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe you can get lucky and you bolt Foxtrot or Braveheart and knock him out of the game or something, but even then, I don't know how you're gonna, like, Nick doesn't have the pieces this season to stop this team. So I think this is a demolition from Jock.
He hasn't got one tackle piece. I've only got one tackle piece. He's got none. I just feel for him. I mean, he's probably going to have a chef and he's going to have a wizard, but I will be gobsmacked if this is anything but a blowout.
Yeah. Agreed.
Each week I'm going to have a triple B banker. Now, people who know my time as an announcer and all that, and as an admin on Champion Ladder, always know about the triple B banker. If you don't know, ask Serious Jest. He loves it. He loves the triple B banker. He says it's a Barney's Chaos on steroids. I just say it's him not doing his job right when I tip him. So believe who you want to believe. But
So did Jock just get tagged with the triple B banker? Oh boy, Jock.
Yeah, for some reason I think Serious Jest changes the B to a W. I think in the triple B banker. I don't know why. But I think the shots win this 4-0, 5, whatever he wants. I think this is as many as Jock wants it to be, and the only way it's going to be slowed down is by a bolt or by the shots rolling a lot of ones. I can't see any other result than the shots getting it done.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the big thing for the shots is they just want to come out of that thing healthy. They just don't want to be. They're already down to 12 guys. You just want to come out healthy. Yeah, because losing, I really don't think is on the table. Yeah, I don't think losing's on the table. But if they lost another Lino or lost somebody else and went to 11 guys, starts to get dicey.
I think they already are at 11 guys. To be fair,
I think they have 12. I think they have 11 for this week, but I think they have 12 total because I think one of the guys is one of his different players is missing. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
so 12 for the rest of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't see him losing that one. Finally, the Bullies versus the 7-6ers.
Yes, I will let you go first on this one, and I'll tell you what I think later. So you take the stage, sir.
You know what? I fancied the 7-6ers, and then how confident you was. I was like, oh well, your look's got to change sometime, and you get 500k Wizards in there. And you got all these speedsters. Maybe this is the weak Dodge does well. And you know what? I'm going to go with the Bullies 2-1. You've convinced me. I'm going Bullies 2-1. I think you make a very good point. I really do. I think it's going to be a really tough game. Obviously, if you get into a brawl with the 7-6ers, you'll lose. But if you can use guerrilla warfare and just pick your targets, and hopefully your players play a bit better than they did last week, then I think you'll scrape the win 2. I think it'll be a close game. I think that's definitely going to be one of the better games of the week. So I'll agree with you 2-1 there.
I am hoping it will be a good game. It'll really. I know some of my guys like. A big part of this will be how much does he can my Brett Lyman and my Thralls at least survive, just get KO'd, and maybe come back because I have 2 babes. Can they avoid getting killed? So I don't run out of players. But if that can happen, against his team, I do like my. I'm probably jinxing myself. I do like my chances if I have a wizard. I like my chances of going in and getting the ball.
I think that's massive. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing, and that in a way that's the reason why Dodge Viper was paid all that money to get the ball loose or jump in and say, yeah, here's the ball, go and score, sort of thing. Yeah, it's a really tough game, this one, and obviously we get to see the wonderful, was it Movement 7 or some crazy death roll as well.
Some insane, like, the death roller can like blitz from like 9 squares away, which is like insane.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
mental.
so it's crazy. So I think it's some of it's going to come down to like you said, I have to just sort of disengage, get away, kind of play positional, and then take my shots. And like I said, hopefully it doesn't degrade into a brawl. Because if it degrades into a brawl, I'm in trouble. I just don't have no one has the strength to stand toe to toe with DeMarco's team. So you gotta try to hit and run.
Yeah, it's interesting because Gio says 76 is foul with any player that could give them the edge, and they do have Hans Gruber, and then might see a cheeky foul from Ricky Bugatti, the death roller.
Well, I think you'll definitely see a foul from the death roller. I think he will absolutely foul with the death roller. And that's where some of the luck's going to come in. Like, I'm going to need that to be a stun or be a KO or have him get tossed out, something like that to happen. Not exactly the opposite of what happened in our game, where the first foul was a death. That's what I can't have happen. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a death, and the ref was like, "I'm not sending him off. He just killed a really nasty chop." Exactly. I didn't see nothing. See nothing. Good refereeing.
And Armax like not used to this optimistic JimmyMac. That's true. I'm usually not optimistic about it, but I like.
Yeah.
It's just when my team gets like 500 in inducements, I feel pretty good about it because I mean, they could get broken in half, but I got a lot of really really high skill players. If you give them a wizard, I feel pretty good. I can turn you over and score. Unless something really bad goes wrong.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good game. It's another game I can't wait. Have you got a day for this game yet? Any time?
Yeah, I believe we're playing Wednesday. Around 4 Eastern. So 9 UK time. I think it's going to be Wednesday.
That'll be alright. That's my last game. See, I'm off. I was off today. I'm off tomorrow. I'm off Wednesday. So unfortunately, nice. I'm back at work Thursday because I would have streamed the final if I could. But unfortunately, I'm at work. But yeah, that's done. We out of all the 3 divisions, then which is your best bet? What's a triple Jimmy banker? If you had to pick one.
For a game? Let me see. Who am I gonna curse with a win?
It's only fair.
I'll tell you. Your game is in the mix for it. I'll tell you that right now. Let's see. I gotta go now. My triple B banker. I can't get away from it. It's the Warriors against the Vultures. It's just I can't possibly see that going any other way. That's got to be it.
That was the other one I was looking at when I was between the Vultures and the Elves. Tequila. I just thought the Tequila. I just thought they'd get it done. I mean, I still think the Vultures can get a few removals there against the Warriors. They may somehow get something out of there. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Always getting ready for the goals. Excellent. Yeah. So, are you streaming that game, Jimmy?
Perfect.
Oh, fantastic. See,
yes,
we do this perfectly timed, don't we? We do this perfectly. Anyway, perfect. That's us done for this week. I'm hoping to get it done every week. We'll have a recap every week.
Excellent.
Thanks again, Jimmy, for joining me. Always a pleasure. Good luck in your win, hopefully.
Hopefully.
In this week.
You too.
And if you lose, I'm blaming you because you convinced me to tip you. That's how I'm getting myself out of that. Well, I was going to go with the 7-6s, but Jimmy told me with the Wizards.
I got the sell job, and I listened to him.
He told me. I didn't think he'd lied to me. I was out to lose in a roll of 1 on the Wizard and get fouled to death. I didn't know, did I? You told me that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, thanks again for joining me, Jimmy. Thanks for everyone in the chat.
Definitely.
And, good luck to everyone in week 3. Don't forget the Nightmares will play the Police tomorrow around about 1 PM when we're hoping police brutality will be the thing we're talking about after that game. Thanks again, guys. Take care, and we will see you later. And go across to watch the game now between Armac and Cesar. See you later, guys, and have a good one. See you later. Bye-bye.